Okay, I would like to call this meeting to order. Call this meeting to order, please. For Crete Monee School Board, regular board meeting Tuesday, June the 17th, 2025, 6:30 p.m., 18:30 military time. Roll call, please. Madam Secretary.
Miss Woolfolk.
Present.
Miss Venegas. Mr. Sawalish.
Here. Hold on one second. Elizabeth, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, did you hear the roll call from Secretary Jamie?
Yes, sorry, I.
Hi.
Dr. Hall.
Present.
Zeitstumbris is here. Mr. Gallegos.
Here.
Mr. Brown.
Here. Thank you. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Vice President Alex Gallegos, and our mission statement, led by Board Secretary Jamie Zeitstumbris. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our mission is to engage and empower our students to positively impact their community and future.
Thank you both for taking the lead on those two items. Do we have any public comments, written or in present? No public comments. All right, we do have a reason to go in closed session up front for the reasons of the appointment, employment, compensations, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, or educational setting. Can I have a motion to go into closed sessions for reasons stated?
So move. Second.
Moved by Dr. Hall, second by Alex. Any questions or comments? If not, roll call, please. Yeah, I'll do it. If not, roll call, please.
Miss Venegas.
I.
Miss Woolfolk.
I.
Dr. Hall.
Aye.
Mr. Sawalish.
Aye.
Zeitstumbris is an aye. Mr. Gallegos.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye. We are now entering closed session for approximately 20 minutes, and we will return to take further actions. Thank you, public, and just be patient. Thank you. Okay, Elizabeth, you can go. Okay. Take care now. Okay. Okay, I would like to return back to our open session of this regular board meeting, and we will carry on with item number 6, board updates. Do we have any board updates?
Yes, we do. Last week, I don't know if anybody noticed, I wasn't here. There was a late cancellation with a teacher that was going to the FFA field trip, and they needed somebody in a pinch. So Ms. Bernacki told my kid, "Hey, tell your dad that he's coming to the convention." So that's how I swear to God, I heard about it. So this, I was just a +1 there, so I don't have all the information. I'm not a pro at FFA. I wish I was, because it is such a good program for our young adults. FFA stands for Future Farmers of America, and this was their 97th annual state conference. And something that I didn't know, Crete Monee has not had an FFA program. We had a 65-year hiatus from FFA. It's only been the past 2 years that we've gotten a group of kids involved in agriculture. And I emphasize the 97 years because I feel like in the beginning, like way back when it first started, it was just farming, right? But as it's evolved, like people were like, I'm more interested in raising cattle or doing solar panels or irrigation or something, and it has branched out to so many different things that encompasses in agriculture. There's welding there, there's carpentry there, there's mechanic work. There's so many things that I didn't get a chance to. These are all things that were talked about. They have a thing called Career Spark in Peoria, where they bring 8th graders to a facility that has like all these things that they can touch and play with and find out what interests them, and then they're just off to the races. They find something that they're passionate about, and then they go. And there's so much leadership and professionalism. There's an actual job, like a child has a job to hold doors open at all of the entrances and exits of the conference. So there was a lot of recognition. There was hours upon hours of recognition of competitions and everything like that. I was so impressed with the level of how do I say this? The level of participation. There were 7,000 kids there that were at different levels. Some were in college, some were in middle school, but they were all there to celebrate and to actually also to vote for the next president for the next school year. And that's where, like, I want to see our kids up on that stage. And I told them, like, next year I want to see more of you guys, because we did have Sarah Mulberg. She was part of the choir, and she sang with the chorus there, and so she was on stage quite a lot. But I want to see our kids be recognized up there because they're doing such great work. Did you know that there is a plot of land behind the high school cafeteria where they are starting to grow crops.
It's owned by the district?
Huh?
The land is owned by the district?
Yeah, it's right outside.
Our agriculture?
Yes, our agriculture kids
Kids
are,
are-
yeah, they have,
We had that email from that one student.
Is that
Remember he-
Deutsch?
He said,
Deutsch, the young fellow?
yeah, he sent us an email.
Yeah.
saying,
and so I've seen it in the beginning part of it, and it looks awesome.
And we can have at it, and whatever the fruits of the labor, we can take the fruits and vegetables and all that too?
We'll probably give them to the kids,
Oh.
but yeah, there's a lot of activity back there.
Wow.
And it's just, I hope that we continue on this FFA kick,
Yeah.
and I want to see it grow like big time.
Yeah.
Because we can have an FFA program in the middle school,
Yeah.
and the grants that we get at the high school don't conflict with the middle school. If we were to have an ag program in the middle school, they both can get their equals grant stuff for participation and stuff like that. So it's a win-win, I think, win-win situation there.
Yeah.
But I was really impressed. Like it was really fun, and very impressed with everything that FFA is. I wish I had FFA when I was in high school, man.
Sounds like you get farming experience.
Yeah, like I don't, but it doesn't matter if you do or
Yeah.
don't. Like there's so many things there that you could explore and find a career, find something that you're passionate about, and just go with it.
And I
So-
think I let it be known at one point that I'm in proximity of the middle school. I have some land that I've been blessed with, and I would be more than willing to allow the district to use a portion of the land to hold classes in agriculture. Again, anything they grow, they give it to me, though.
Yeah, right.
Just tomatoes, just
Yeah,
tomatoes.
yeah.
Yes, and I went to a conference, Triple E, a few years back, and it was one school district out west, and they had engaged their kids, younger kids, 6, 7, 8, middle school,
Middle school.
and they grew popcorn
Yes.
and was selling the popcorn
Yes.
and making a very, very great profit selling it.
That's what they're doing. Yeah, that's what
Yes.
they're doing.
Yes, so I am 100% behind this.
Yeah.
So if you want to, whatever, if they
I
need
just-
some more land,
I just want to grow the
I have-
program. Like it's unbelievable.
great.
Yeah.
You
good
got my
stuff.
support. Good job. Anything else? Alex? Anything
Anything
else?
else for me? I know. I got the shirt for Father's Day, FFA Dad. Like, I'm all in.
You did everything.
Yeah,
District
I
Dad,
am all
District
in.
Dad.
District Dad, FFA
FFA
Dad.
Dad.
Yeah. I don't know
That's
how.
great.
I don't know how else to embarrass my kid. So. I just,
That's right.
Well, the Deutsches family is a very recognized name, history, generations,
Yeah.
at least 4 deep
yeah.
in this area for farming.
That's another thing.
Yes.
97 years. I mean, that's generations.
Generations.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you, Alex.
Mhm.
Very, very good report. Anybody else? Okay, well, what I failed to do the last meeting, I just want to acknowledge Alex for obtaining, was that your master's or undergrad?
Yeah.
degree.
Undergrad.
Undergrad. Let's give him a hand.
Nice.
All right. Good job.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
I know, trying to manage, and husband and family, and going back to school to better yourself educationally. That's a tough task. I've been there and done that. I tell you. All right. No other board updates. Going to the administrative updates by our superintendent. Alpha number 1.
Yeah, I've got a few items. For one, I just wanted to highlight the invitation that we received from the University Park Village for the parade. I wrote it in my FYI, but I just want to highlight, it's on August 16th. I do believe that we will go ahead and have the van like we normally do. So just put that on your calendars. Again, it will be at 9 o'clock. It will be at Olmsted Road near Crete Monee Middle School. So I'll send out more
Is
information
that where it's
about
gonna
that.
start? Because it seems like they reverse.
Yeah.
Is it gonna start at the middle school and end up at the town center, to your knowledge?
It says we will, that begins lining up at 9 o'clock on Olmsted Road.
Okay.
So it just says that.
And a couple times it just was reversed.
They try to keep you on your toes, Mr. Brown.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's
So anyway, just
Tough
to
task.
note that, and then as it gets closer, just confirm with me who's coming that day as well. I believe that day, unfortunately, I will be at Iowa taking my daughter. She's
On that
getting her
day?
first apartment up there. She's a sophomore, so I may be commuting that day up to Iowa.
Oh, she's old enough to drive by herself now. She's a
Well, you should
sophomore.
see what she's got in the back seat. It's a lot
Oh.
of stuff, right?
Okay.
So I wanted to mention that. And then the other thing, I sent you an email earlier today. Just want to let you know, we are putting together the facility naming committee. I have that scheduled virtually for Tuesday. I'm getting feedback from all of our folks to get that information. The application is out, it's filled out, so we're going to meet and talk about that.
Was that the, is it just for the one facility, or was I supposed to?
Well, so this, we've only asked, the only application that they are entertaining is the one facility. That's all we've asked them for. If there's others in the future, I think we have to decide whether we want to use those people again,
Well,
which they
I thought we
can be.
said last week that, because I know my person, the reason they said yes is because they wanted to
They wanted to
name-
do others.
Yes, not just that. So I told, because I asked you,
Yeah.
would they be naming everything? And then you all told
They-
me I have to
they
complete
could,
an
because
application.
that might be
They just need
your
to know.
person.
That's
Yes.
the same thing I thought about. I think it's just prudent for us to keep, it was tough trying to gather
find,
this
yes.
one group.
Yeah.
So do I need to fill out the application to say naming of the facilities?
The, like, if you want the Dr. Hall Center, you could write the application.
No,
and you
not.
could have-
I got that at 6:07.
Yeah, okay.
But,
Yes,
And
for
then-
anything that would recommend, it would go to the board, and then you guys would tell me to put a committee
can you fill it
together.
out for me and I sign it? Like a letter of recommendation?
So, anyway, so I've got that out there, so I'm hoping to get that done. My goal is to have something to present to you at the July meeting, so we can move forward with that. As you know, you've driven by this today, and we've got a lot going on in our field. It's really exciting. They're putting the roof on today, and it looks bigger than I thought. So,
How many
there's-
square feet is that, Jason? Probably at least.
13,000.
13,
Yeah.
I was gonna say 10.
So, really exciting. So we're still on target for the August 1st to have everything done. And again, I'd share with you, we've got drone footage out there to really highlight this. So anyway, moving forward with that.
So we are saying we're gonna be completed.
You always ask
I-
that.
I know.
Are you amazed?
In just a little bit over a month. And we feel good about that.
It's a little more than a month.
A little
right?
bit over. We got all of July, and here we are.
Yeah, but I think that's just part of it's gonna be done, because the rest of it's not gonna be used.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're
That's what
gonna
I'm trying
finish
to
it
see.
so
What
we
do you-
can have,
The stadium,
Right.
but the
That's what I'm
football
trying-
stadium stuff will be done.
So the baseball stadiums will not be done.
No, the softball and baseball field has a target date of December 1st.
Okay, so
That'd be
that's what I was trying,
Yeah.
I said, I haven't been indulged in the project itself, but I've done a lot of projects, and I put the whole complex being completed in a month. I said, no way.
well, that's because football starts in a week, like, basically.
And that's
it's-
fine.
it's
I didn't know
soon.
we was dissecting and
I
segmenting
would,
this. I
with
didn't
a
know
project
that.
that size, I would imagine there's
Yeah.
gotta be a focus.
And they played the first two games away on purpose, just for wiggle room. So we don't play at home till week 3.
Okay, so your project, as it's being depicted or shared with whomever, is saying that August 1st is going to be project completion with X, Y, and Z. Is that what I hear you saying? What the X, Y, and Z is. That's clear, concise with everyone? Everybody have an understanding? Because again, when I heard completion, I looked at the whole sports complex being completed in a little bit over a month.
No, I mean, I'm holding everyone to an early target date because my experience with construction is you have variables and some things that catch up, and I want to make sure we have enough time.
Do we have a schedule depicting, like I talked about the critical path and all of that? Do we have on their side, they're sharing with us, this is the schedule, we're gonna finish, these are the milestones, we're gonna finish football field, da-da-da-da-da, next phase, da-da-da-da-da. Is it showing that somewhere?
Yes, I have that schedule.
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
Moving on, I've got a third item here to celebrate, and we've got some guests in our audience that will be helping out. So what we'd like to do is highlight emphasis of our collaborative work that we do here in this district. When we start working together to solve problems, we come together, both administration and our teachers, to collaboratively come up with some positive changes. So the one piece that we've been working on is this lesson plan committee. Dr. Perkins has been working with that team. And Dr. Perkins, I'm going to let you kind of pick it up from here because I think your committee would like to highlight the work that they've done here.
Good evening to our board, Dr. Coglanese, to our staff that is here, to our staff and family at home viewing. We do thank you for this opportunity to share the work of this team. And we're going to get it up on the screen. As we are waiting, as Dr. Coglanese said, that this has been some collaborative work, and we are embracing this. And so as a joint committee, we've come together to talk about the work that this team has done. So under the facilitation of NEA, which is the National Education Association, and our consultant CEC, which is the catalyst for education change, they came to us again as a pilot of what it could look like when union leadership and administration come together and empower one another and collaborate. So we have our team members here, and as they come up to present, we'll talk about what that work has looked like.
Hello, I'm Christine Quinlan. I was on the NEA CEC cohort as well as the Lesson Plan Coalition team. I guess I needed more to do. This was really about creating a partnership that could benefit all stakeholders in the district, especially our students. And our goal was to help participating teams design and build a strong, long-lasting model of collaboration for their unique district context and to give them the tools and support they need to begin implementing their plan.
And so the original team consisted of myself, Dr. M., Mr. Hollyfield, the high school principal, our CMEA president, and then also Mrs. Biernacki, who is the CMEA secretary. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that she is the wonderful teacher who is leading the FFA work. And so we are so thankful to have her. And she partnered with Ms. Quinlan this past year on bringing some of that work to the elementary building. And then and that cohort moved to the work of problem solving of a district problem that we've had for some time, and then how can we come together. And then again, here are the list of those team members, again with Dr. Miller being on that team, Mrs. Ali being on that team, and Mrs. Huseret being on that team here to share what that work looks like.
So whenever you're coming together to collaborate and try to get a group of people to come to a consensus, you want to have guiding principles. So we wanted to have open communication, trust, honesty, listening to understand, not listening to be heard, creating a school district where people feel comfortable and look forward to coming to work every day, opening ourselves up to new ideas, flexible even when we have our challenges. ways to find creative solutions, those out-of-the-box ideas. Future of culture of curiosity. We're really hoping that this will lead to more of a culture of learning together, collaborating to create change. It also, diversity and strength in every culture identity contributes to our school district. Collective inquiry and efficiency, integrity and accountability are the building blocks to trust and healthy relationships.
So the goal when we first came together for this guided cohort was to build our expectations around the lesson planning to improve student growth. And so we took some action steps and met with the members and administration. We developed a plan. Again, we looked for a common problem that we had and wanted to come together. And so we met for 3 one-hour sessions and again began to build ways that we could collaborate and be jointly have our interests met.
When we sent the information out to all teachers and administrators, we wanted to make sure they could meet these commitments, attend all the meetings, learn together as a team, participate, listen to other perspectives. One of the big benefits was elementary, high school, and middle school. Talking about the differences in the planning that they do was really eye-opening to each other's words. And then the teams itself had to be, the cohort had to complete modules of homework that we studied, not the coalition, but the cohort that developed the coalition.
And that work, if you can look at this timeline, started in October of 24, and then it went through April and May were kind of our last meetings. But one thing, again, as a cohort, we said, what is a problem that the district has that we can look at collaboratively bringing our cultures together to create a solution to that work?
That cohort led to the focus on lesson plans, and this really came out of feedback directly from our teachers, and then that feedback was also sought out by administrators when we were thinking of lesson plans. We really have the OTL department, our IB schools do a great job of laying out the Tier 1 curriculum. So how do we make our lesson plans more meaningful, more impactful for our students' learning, and kind of meet the needs of our post-COVID students? And I just need to make a note as a union president, every member on this team, it was voluntary, no one got paid for it. So these are people who are really dedicated to coming together to make changes that will benefit our kids, our staff, and our administrators, because we're hoping this can also relieve some workload pressures for our teachers and our administrators.
The Guided Coalition purpose and norms. The purpose is to collaboratively develop a unified set of lesson plans, expectations, which reflect the diversity of our students' academic environments while ensuring alignment to student-centered learning across all grades, including specialized approaches for the IB schools that we have. The norms of the meetings were to assume positive intent, keep this a safe and collaborative environment. What's said here is stays here, and what's learned here leaves here, sorry. And then while we all came together and thought we wanted to find in between where you're not putting nothing on, but you're not giving your principals 20 pages, 15 pages of stuff. So develop a template that is manageable so plans aren't taking teachers forever to create.
So as far as how we approach this and the purpose of it, we wanted lesson planning to become reflective and responsive. So teachers need to reflect on their, whatever I put on the paper, I need to know if it was effective or not. My administrators also need to be able to use that lesson plan to help me grow as a teacher. So reflective and responsive planning, lesson plan should be viewed as retroactive and reflective. which means that it's not about what I'm doing next week. What did I do today that benefited my students? Allowing for adjustments based on student learning rather than solely a forward-looking guess. Not everyone grows at the same rate. And some tools that we're looking to develop for pre-K all the way through is lesson plans designed and integrated seamlessly with the Toddle for All platform. Currently, the middle school and high school are using Toddle for their units.
Good evening. So for me as an administrator, the daily lesson planning is very valuable and so important. As Quinlan said, it's about growth, and I'm able to do that by looking at that daily lesson planning. So is there consistency across the classrooms? Does it allow administrators and instructional coaches to help coach teachers up? Does it support pacing and instructional alignment? When we look at those essential components and we look at objectives, we want objectives that are clear, that are student-centered, not just standard numbers. There are a lot of standards that we have to remember. But what is the statement that we want students, where do we want them to grow from, and what did they actually learn? When we look at the activities, teachers should include enough detail to clarify the learning experience, but not so much where, as Quinlan said, I'm reading 20 pages and I have 24 teachers, right? So that would be a lot. Then when we look at the success criteria and we think about a formative check, some type of exit ticket, something more informal that teachers could do quickly to make sure students are learning. And when we look at the conciseness of it, it goes back to just being right to the point where as an administrator, anyone or sub, someone could walk in and quickly pick this up. We want to make sure that we have a holistic view as well. So we're supporting students through clarity for not just the teachers, but as well for our students. And again, we want anyone to walk in, a coach, an administrator, a substitute that can pick up this lesson plan and know what's happening. When we think about the unit planning, we're looking where we can adopt or create that unit planning to give teachers a broader context for their lessons they're developing and ensure coherence over time.
Good evening, everyone. Don't want to touch the mic. This is always a problem. Just down. Okay, very good. All right. Okay. So protected planning time. This is something that I think everybody's always wanting is time. We never have enough time. So we want to make sure that at the building level, we are dedicating time for teachers to be able to plan. SIP time utilization, dedicated school improvement time, again, allowing teachers to come together to do this collaborative planning and feedback sessions. Exemplars and agendas. Of course, we want to be able to provide the exemplars for our teachers so that they know exactly what it is that is expected. And then also having agendas that actually help them to do this planning. Feedback and submission. No one wants to continue to submit things and not get proper feedback and timely. But we want to make sure that we are having a clear rotation cycle so that teachers know when they're submitting. And then, of course, establishing teacher leaders. So coming up with those strategies that empower our teachers to be leaders themselves.
So as you can imagine, this the time that was put into this were very robust conversations, and it is about being prepared and being open and all those things that Ms. Quinlan was talking about. And so having these teams come together and foster and give feedback and build this system, knowing that, you know, this is just one thing that we will tackle together, but being able to come to the table and it's not a us versus them is very important to the work in the organization as a district.
So we only have met 3 hours, and this is really just the start of the plan that we want to develop for the improvement of lesson plans and learning for our students. So one thing is finalizing the lesson plan template for implementation plan for Tier 2. So our Tier 1 will come from Atlas and Toddle and is always available, but our Tier 2 is really where we get down to how do we differentiate this lesson plan to meet the needs of the learners in front of us. determine the timeline for rolling out the new expectations. We know that the earlier we get this out, the better that it is for people to learn it and use it. And then, so we did this. How do we know it worked well? How are we going to come back, revise, make the process even better? Come up with steps and deadlines and responsibilities, looking at the different levels of teachers, where they're at, looking at administrators, how many staff they have in the building, what should we be looking at, who should we be looking at. And also, I'm sorry, I lost my little thought there. Actually, more deadlines and responsibilities for the coalition, shorter than I thought. Finalize district-wide expectations for teachers and templates, including variation for school contacts, research software that can help us. And then hopefully, if this turns out to be a really big win, we're hoping this collaboration leads to other topics, because not everything can be spelled out in a contract. Not all working conditions, not everything that we need is in a contract. So when we have all the stakeholders involved in developing the plans and decisions, there's more buy-in, it's more effective, and just overall happier.
And so as we end, we want to thank not only the team members that are here to present, but all the team members for all of their work, and of course all of our staff, teaching staff, and everyone. I think it goes back to the power of the words that we use in our strategic plan, which is that we engage one another, we empowered one another, and it will have an impact on our students. So we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Questions?
No questions. No questions.
No, Mrs. Wolford has
I do. Can you back up and just talk about like what led us here and what led us to needing to do this work? It looks like it's some great work, but what's some of the background that led us to this place?
I think part of it is the vision of wanting to bring our teams together and make it a progressive, collaborative relationship. Again, I go back to it doesn't have to be this tug of war and us, meaning district administration, teachers against teachers. We're all here for kids. And so it's been a vision to have those teams work. And then we just had somebody facilitate that work. To bring out that it doesn't have to be a fighting battle, like we can come together and what that looks like, and this is the outcome of what that looks like.
If I may, I just wanted to clarify my question a little bit too. What were the challenges? Maybe that's a better question. What were we experiencing that made us say, oh, we are doing this, or we need to come together and be more cohesive? How do we know we needed to be more cohesive? How do we know this needed to be done? Are you understanding my question?
Mm-hmm. So why did we choose lesson plans?
Okay, sure.
Why did we feel we needed to come?
Well,
Start the
correct.
report? I don't think that there was like one overarching problem. I think that it was, again, traditionally, that there's been a thought out there that there can't be this unified work that happens, and it can. And so, again, you just have to have the willing stakeholders to come to the table to listen and bridge any gaps that may be, left open, or have an open mind about the conversations that need to happen. I'll let Ms. Quinlan answer from the teacher standpoint.
For the initial cohort, when Dr. Perkins brought me the information, the NEA is our overall national union. The IEA, CMEA, IEA, NEA, they're our top. So they're tied to this. They support this. The NEA and IEA are, in general, more collaborative unions than the other IFT, AFT. But for me, what it was really about was an ability to have, as a new president, this is my first year, finished my first year, building relationships, addressing issues in a different way other than our labor management meetings. Labor management meetings are very much contractually, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, things like that. This allows for that deeper conversation. And I can't say that there were any particular problems. I felt last year, as the union secretary, we had a good working relationship my last 3 years involved in the union. But I think we needed to take it further because our teachers wanted more of a voice. And our big thing was always talking about workload, which is not contractual. So this was an avenue in which we could address non-contractual things that could benefit all of us.
Well, I tell you, I love it. I love, we hear this buzzword out there all the time about collaboration and all of that. I think you guys knocked it out the park. I really do. And you put up front basically our mission statement: engaging, empowering, impacting. And when you talked about the discipline, there were so many buzzwords there to talk about our core values. So we are one unit here. I know we have a union, we have management on this side, but we have the kids right here. So we have to come together, and you're doing it, and I'm sure this board is going to do all it could to support what you are doing. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again. All right, that was very, very refreshing. All righty. So we moving on to our consent agenda approval. Is there anyone would like to take anything out of our consent agenda before I ask for a motion to approve? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented to us tonight?
So moved.
Moved by Alex,
Second.
second by Dr. Hall. Any questions or comments? Do you want to get spared to read all this, or?
You don't need to read it, I don't think.
Okay.
You don't want to tonight.
I'll spare her, because I got to get home and cut my grass. No, just kidding. All right, if there's no questions or comments, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Dr. Hall,
Aye.
Mr. Sawalish,
Aye.
Ms. Woolfolk,
Aye.
Zeit Stumbris is an aye. Gallego, Mr. Gallegos,
Aye.
Mr. Brown,
Aye. Motion carry. Number 9, action report, Alpha Business. Number 1, can I have a motion to approve the 2024-2025 amended budget?
Moved.
Moved by Bill,
Second.
second by Alex. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I had something, just real quick. The first tax payment came in, right? Tax payment, first payment?
Yes.
Yeah. I did see in the FYI, you had a correction in the fund balance transfer. So when you look at the chart, what we talked about last week, it does put our number above the 6-month cash on hand, right?
Correct.
The adjustment does.
Yes.
So that's, Mr. Brown, what you were talking about last week.
Yeah, he pulled a rabbit out of his hat. He made it happen. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you, Bill, for identifying that. So I feel pretty good about our financial scores. And sophomore, lack of a better phrase, I still owed you that information. I had drafted it up and didn't hit the send button. Coming to a theater near you. Okay, thank you. All right, thanks, Bill, for identifying that. And thank you, Brian, and your team, Jason, and Dr. Coglanese, for sitting down with me, actually, and going over that finding, so I appreciate it. Okay, roll call, please. Is that a motion? We haven't moved.
We have a first and a second. Mr. Sawalish,
Aye.
Ms. Woolfolk,
Aye.
Dr. Hall,
Aye.
Zeit Stumbris is an aye. Mr. Gallegos,
Aye.
Mr. Brown,
Aye, motion passed. Next up, number 9, action report, B, Bravo Personnel and Culture. Can I have a motion to approve Bravo number 1?
so moved.
Second.
Hold on, let me finish. Bravo number 1. approve Coretta Scott King Magnet School Principal's contract. Motion by,
Me.
moved by Jamie, second by Bill. Questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call please, Madam Secretary.
Dr. Hall,
Aye.
Mr. Sawalish,
Aye.
Ms. Woolfolk,
Aye.
Ms. Lightstumbers is an aye. Mr. Gallegos,
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye. Motion pass. I would like to just give a round of applause for our principal. Mike standing? Can you stand? Can you stand, the new principal? Oh, all right. Thank you. I heard you was gonna buy the board ice cream. Okay. Thank you and welcome aboard. We really appreciate you stepping up to the plate, and the whole administrative team, the staff, and the board themselves will support you in any way, shape, or form. So thank you, okay? I really appreciate it. Yeah, welcome speech. All right, thank you so much. All right, moving on, number 9, action report. Number B, personnel and culture. Number 2, can I have a motion to approve of release agreement with administrative employee?
Moved.
Moved by Bill.
Second.
Second by Dr. Hall. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Mr. Sawalish,
Aye.
Dr. Hall,
Aye.
Ms. Woolfolk,
Aye.
Ms. Lightstumbers is an aye. Mr. Gallegos,
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye. Motion carry. Moving on, number 9, action report, C, Charlie, Board of Education. Can I have a motion to approve the name change of Coretta Scott King Magnet School to Coretta Scott King Magnet School in University Park?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alex, second by Bill. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Ms. Woolfolk,
Aye.
Mr. Sawalish,
Aye.
Dr. Hall,
Aye.
Ms. Lightstumbers is an aye. Mr. Gallegos,
Aye.
Mr. Hall.
Dan, twice.
No, I'm so sorry, Mr. Brown. Just kidding, you only get one vote.
Like I'm special tonight.
Aye. Motion carry. Really appreciate it, board. Thank you so much for passing this through. Moving on, last action to take tonight. No, we do not. No, we do. Okay, but I would like a motion to approve number 9, action report under Charlie. Number 2, approve the name change of Talala Elementary School to Talala Elementary School in Park Forest.
Moved.
Moved by Bill,
Second.
second by Alex. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Roll call, please, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Sawalish,
Aye.
Dr. Hall,
Aye.
Ms. Woolfolk,
Aye.
Ms. Lightstumbers is an aye. Mr. Gallegos,
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye. Motion carry. Again, I thank you so much, board, for passing these 2 motions. Appreciate it. Thank you. Number 10, old business. Do we have any old business out there?
I have one item.
Dr. Hall or Dr. Cognies? The name that says so much. Dr. Cognies.
I've asked Dr. Perkins to just share a very short, high-level update of strategic plan. And the reason why I have her do this is as we start talking about what's going to come up for next year, we need to make a plan. I wanted this to be the anchor of what we're going to be moving forward. So I wanted to just revisit where we were and pretty much where we're going in the process. So Dr. Perkins.
Thank you again. So this is just a a Highlands overview of the strategic plan and, of course, as Dr. Coglany said, of where we are. So if you remember last year, all the stakeholder groups came together. The plan was approved by the board in the fall. We came up with our new mission statement and the vision statement. We talked about our 5 priorities and objectives, and out of that grew 9 goals for the district, and then 73 strategies of how we're going to have success criteria based on our priorities. We also talked about our core values as they relate to our students. And so I'm going to quickly go over from 24 to 28 what the plan development is going to look like. So this year we have taken awareness of the plan, the communication vehicles that we are going to use. We do have a brand new game changer communication vehicle called Parent Square. It gives two-way communication to our families that we will be rolling out this summer and fall. And so it will streamline that communication, but we have been putting our strategic plan in social media. We've got videos around it. It's on the website, and it's been in our internal and external newsletters. Sorry about the font here and how the font moved around when it shifted. But so that has been this past year. As we go into the fall for 25-26 for phase 2, we are creating our operational timelines around those goals and strategies. We're looking at our tactics, our roles and responsibilities, looking at our metrics, indicators of success, and then as we do every year, we will give progress reports twice a year. In phase 3, in that following year, we'll look at implementation, we'll look at monitoring, and again, we'll continue to give those progress reports and updates on all of those goals and strategies. And then in our final phase of the plan, we will evaluate and reflect, and then look for lesson learned and our next step. And then that will lead us into phase 5, which is in 28-29. We will develop a new strategic plan. Questions?
So that's where we're going.
Gotta have a plan, gotta have a
Very high
plan.
level. Okay, thank you.
I'm telling you all about strategic plans, and you know, I know it took a lot of effort to put that together. I think a couple board members was on the committee, Bill, I think Alex, or Dr. Hall. Yes, and we just don't want it to sit on a shelf. I was waiting for you to talk about the 73 strategies.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, that's next time.
That's next time. All right. So I think I said something to the board about going to that document, and it takes a little bit to try to navigate through there, you know, if you tried it. But great job again, keeping us on our P's and Q's. That we do have a strategic plan out there. Has it been posted? I see something there. It's all our buildings. It's a living document, meaning that we can alter and change it as you guys deem fit, or if the board suggests something, right? We have to come back. Just the plan in itself. Can you? I think we alter it, the previous one, for whatever reason, right? Do you? If you had to, would something change? Do you?
We could.
You could. It's a living document, I think. Yes. If it was a
Needed to
major change.
happen, we could,
Okay.
but you did adopt what the work looks like.
Yes, and I know the previous one, the board had asked for an update and where we were with certain goals, percentage-wise, and things of that nature. So we're looking to do that somewhere down the road with this one, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that was 2 times you were saying update?
Yes.
Twice.
So we do one in the fall and at the end of the year.
Excellent. Very colorful, the strategic, well put together. We had our consultant help us with that, right?
Donovan Group helped us to do the design of it, yes.
They did a great job. All right. Thank you much. Any other old business out there? New business?
I had one thing for new business.
Mhm.
I was talking to some friends at a couple districts, and they haven't had an idea for raising money with like their clubs. And I guess, I know over at Rich, they sold old jerseys, old band things, and so just to raise funds. And I think they came up with like a couple $1,000, not like 2, 3. It was like, I think like $12,000-$13,000 from selling old. I think that I might be wrong, but it was them and another district that did this recently. So kind of like a garage sale, and they used it. So
So Dr. Hall, interesting that you would say that. I just had an email from a community member this week that asked me the exact same question, so I'm talking with.
Okay.
I'm talking with Mr. Connected to see if we even have any of those stuff out there. So we're looking into that. They were looking at having it with the homecoming as a fundraiser, so.
Yeah. And again,
Good ideas are floating around out there.
it is.
And I guess because it comes neighboring district, and I thought about it, like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yes, more on that.
Yeah. Excellent. And again, we have challenges with our district, just like so many other districts and it's not that we have an expenditure problem, we have challenges with revenues. So wherever we can find some sustainable revenues, great, and be innovative. And we're gonna probably talk about that a little bit too, so, but great, thank you for bringing that. If you find out more information, please share it.
Okay.
Give more details. All right, thank you so much. Is there any more new business?
I just wanted to see if if I can make a drop in the bucket in adding FFA or adding an ag class or teacher to the middle school. I think that would be something. Maybe we can't do that right now, but like looking forward to adding an ag program to our middle school.
And on that, again, my parcel of land that I've been blessed with is a rock throwaway from the middle school.
Yeah.
And the school that I mentioned west about Popcorn, they only had a little eighth of an acre or something. It was a small parcel. So I'm saying, Dr. Cogley's have at it, okay? Drum up a contract or whatever.
Once we renovate, we'll be able to start figuring out how we're
Yeah.
going to continue to go forward.
Yeah.
We would like to consider how we're going to do that.
You just have to name that, Mole's Farm or something. Mole's Farm, coming to a theater. Okay.
We do have a club at the middle school.
Okay.
So we
Oh,
do,
really?
we do have a
ag
ag
club?
club, a
the
garden
middle
club at the middle school, yes.
Perfect.
So I talked about like the little work we've done at the elementary or specifically to Balmoral, but there is a club at the middle school.
Perfect.
Excellent.
I just had a thought. I just forgot it. Nope, it's gone.
That was quick. Okay, so if there's no other new business, coming up on our second closed session.
Yes.
We do have a reason to go into our second closed session for the reason to the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, or educational setting. Can I have a motion to go into closed session for reasons just stated?
Moved.
Moved by Bill,
Second.
second by Alex. Questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call please, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Sawalish.
Aye.
Ms. Wolfo.
Aye.
Dr. Hall.
Aye.
Slide Stumbers is an aye. Mr. Gallegos.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye, motion carried. We will not be taking any further actions, so thank you, public, for joining us today. Really appreciate you taking the time. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we should be in closed session for about an hour. So much.
I just remembered my.